As part of this transformational partnership, we're going to be able to tap into artificial intelligence capabilities that, as a small independent hospital, we may not have the ability to honor alone ourselves.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence, better known as AI, has a lot of misperceptions of what it means to the community. In a healthcare setting, what does it mean? Some people may believe that it's going to take away jobs.
Right.
That's absolutely not the case here. Can you provide some real-world examples of what AI implementation will look like with this transformational partnership opportunity?
Yeah, I think AI is so ubiquitous in our world today. You really don't hear anything that isn't implementing AI in some way, shape, or form. And so it becomes a little bit overwhelming to understand, okay, well, what does it mean in this particular context? And when you hear AI in relation to your healthcare, it can be a little bit disconcerting. And we really think that's the wrong way to look at artificial intelligence in healthcare. What this particular partnership does for us is we have the opportunity to partner with one of the best health systems in the US, really in the world, and plug into a scale of artificial intelligence that has been validated with some of the best physicians in the world as reliable and trustworthy in terms of the algorithms that it uses to assist physicians, clinicians in their work. It doesn't replace what physicians are doing. It augments what they're doing. And if you go back to what we talked about earlier in the dizzying pace of technological advancements, just even pharmaceutical advancements, what drugs work for what particular problems, most physicians and or clinicians can't keep up with that pace of change. So what folks I think should think about as it relates to how does AI help healthcare, help clinicians, is it reduces a lot of that cognitive burden that our physicians have to try to keep up with that pace of change. It distills a lot of that information. It looks at patterns across huge data sets that our clinicians could never do on their own. And it does so that in a way that finds patterns that would be invisible or wouldn't be possible or feasible for one human being to do. But then it takes that information and it puts it in front of the clinician to say, in addition to your clinical expertise, here's the most current data as it relates to your specific issue. So say you're a stage 3 breast cancer patient and you have this particular genetic profile that's really determined through the testing and diagnostics that you get as a workup or your wife gets as a workup for her particular breast cancer. AI in this particular instance would query databases of millions of patients and look for patients that match the exact genetic profile that your wife is presenting with. And it says, based on this diagnostic profile, this is the best treatment protocol for this particular stage of breast cancer. Here are clinical trials that may be available and showing promise for this particular stage of breast cancer. And so it really becomes, may have heard the term personalized medicine. Well, this really does make it highly personal and specific to your exact problem. most of medicine today is based on, you present with a certain stage of breast cancer, and here is the protocol that we use for that particular type of breast cancer. Well, this takes it to the next level and says, based on your genetic profile, your genetic makeup, here's the most specific, most advantageous treatment for that particular stage of breast cancer. And so I think folks should think about AI appropriately integrated into healthcare as an incredible augmentation that should give folks comfort that they're going to get the most advanced treatment that they can for whatever situation that they have. And we're not, South County Health is not an academic medical center, it's not a research facility, but if folks can have access to the intellectual approaches, intellectual property that's created in those areas, and it becomes part of this learning system where that database of patient encounters grows over time, you know that you have the most contemporary treatment for your issue on an ongoing basis. And so that's really exciting, I think, and really something that is transformational in terms of everyone in our community having confidence that they're getting access to the most progressive treatment and most specific treatment for their individual problems.
Absolutely, and obviously a great example of breast cancer, obviously that can be relatable to various different conditions that our different service lines treat here at South County Hospital and our medical groups as well. Another great example for AI that we've kind of talked about internally is about wearables.
Yes.
What's a great example of how, whether it's Apple Watches or other wearable devices, of how our clinicians are going to be able to help monitor them outside of the exam room environment?
Yeah, and I think that's another example of how this partnership contemplates a transformation. So right now, healthcare is episodic. So what I mean by that is you get a cold or you get a respiratory issue, and that's an episode that you have to get treated. And so then you come in to see your doctor or your nurse practitioner for that issue. Or say you have a cardiac issue, or you have an arrhythmia, you come in and get treated for that. That's an episode. What wearables do is, and wearables integrated into a modernized AI-enabled platform, is they create a continuous loop of information that your doctor has access to, and that is consistently looking at behind the scenes to say, your heart rate's being elevated, or your blood pressure is moving one way or the other, or your sleep patterns are being disturbed. And all of that information is then compared to that large database, and then it looks for patterns. And it says, based on these patterns that Matt is presenting with, we're noticing some anomalies that we think he should come in for. So it's predictive rather than reactive. And it creates an ongoing, continuous interaction, continuous care, rather than that episodic care that we talked about earlier. So that's really where we see healthcare going, is more personalized. It's part of a learning network of AI-enabled most progressive treatments, and it's continuous through things like wearables, where you know that not only you are looking at how'd you sleep last night, or how's your heart rate doing, but that's being integrated into your health record as key information for your care team to be not only using, but then AI is enabling and enhancing and alerting your clinician around behind the scenes as the co-pilot.